Hi everyone, I'm Jackie and welcome to my channel, Cheers Mary's Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful vintage granny square. This granny square was crocheted by my grandma and my aunt mailed it to me and wanted me to try to figure out how my grandma crocheted it. So I kind of eyeballed it and I think I came pretty close. I used a 4mm hook and a size 4 weight yarn, and it ended up being about 5.5 or 6.5 inches wide. I really like the vintage look to it. And you've got the little leaves there. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. You're going to do a slip knot. I've already got mine attached to my hook. Now we're going to chain 5. Just like that. Now we're going to slip stitch into that very first one. And we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do a half double crochet. Just like that. Chain 1. That's our first set. You're going to need a total of 8. So there's my half double crochet and a chain 1. And go ahead and make sure you have 8 sets, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I've got all 8 sets, and now we're going to slip stitch right on top of that first half double crochet we did. This is our chain 1 here. We're just going to skip right over that. We're going to slip stitch right there. Chain 1. Cut off. So now we're going to start the flower. And you're going to attach your yarn in any of these chain 1 spaces, and be careful right here where we've got that chain 1 and there's our first half double crochet. Don't go in between there. You're going to go right here in this chain 1 space and then skip over to this chain 1 space. And go ahead and attach your yarn. We're going to chain 3, and you're going to go right back in that same chain 1 space and do 2 more double crochets. Now chain 1, and you're going to do this in every chain 1 space. You're going to do 3 double crochets and 3 and your chain 1. So go ahead and continue to the end, and you should have 8 sets of 3 double crochets and a chain 1, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm at the end of my row. Don't forget that last chain 1. Now we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Now we're going to start the second row of our flower. We're going to chain 3, which acts as our first double crochet. And now we're going to go right back in that same space and do another double. And now on top of excuse me, on top of this middle double crochet from the previous row, in the next stitch here, we're going to do 1 double, and in the next one we're going to do 2 doubles, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to start our next set on top of the first double crochet from the previous row. We're going to do 2 doubles, and on top of the next stitch we're going to do 1 double, and the last one here on top of that third double crochet we're going to do 2 doubles, and then your chain 1, and go ahead and continue, and here at the end you should have 8 sets of 2 double crochets, a double crochet, 2 double crochets, and a chain 1, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, up at the end of my row, I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 there. And I'm going to chain 3. That's our first double crochet. And in the second stitch, we're going to do another double crochet. And now in the third and fourth stitch, we're going to do a 2 double crochet together. And how you do that is you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 of those. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to go in that next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. Now we have 3 loops on our hook, so we're going to yarn over and go through all 3 of those. So now we have 1 more stitch. We're going to do 1 double crochet in it, just like that. So far we've got a chain 3, which acts as our first double crochet, and in the third and fourth stitch we have a double crochet 2 together, and in the last stitch we have a double crochet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3, and we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch as our last double. Now we're going to chain 3 more. So that is our first set. I'll do your next set with you. We're going to do a double and a double in the second stitch, and a double crochet together in the third and fourth. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. Your last 3 on your hook, yarn over and go through all those. Now our last stitch here, the 5th, 1 double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, slip stitch into that same stitch as your last double, and now chain 3. And go ahead and do that until you have 8 sets of your double crochet, 2 double crochet together, another double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch into that last double crochet space, and a chain 3. And I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm at the end of my row. So I did my last chain 3, and I'm going to jump over here and slip stitch on top of that chain 3. Now I'm going to chain 1 and cut off. So this is what you should have so far. So in between each set, I guess we can call these petals, you're going to have a chain 3 and a chain 3. Okay, so now we're going to do our leaves. I'm going to do a slip knot. Do a slip knot. I'm sorry, I had to go take care of my dog. I had to put you on pause. Okay, now we're going to chain 7. And 7. Now we're going to skip that very first chain, and we're going to do, in the second chain, we're going to do a single, and in the next one, we're going to do another single. Now we have 4 stitches left over. We're going to do a half double in each one of those. Okay, that's what you should have. I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to do single crochet, 1 more, 3, 4, and 5. So now we have 5 single crochets, and now we're in our sixth stitch up here. We're going to do 3 single crochets in the same stitch, and 3. And so right here is that chain that we skipped over. So to make sure you don't mess up and go into that one, what I do is I come down here and I count 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here is where we do our first single crochet, and we continue until we have 5. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so there's our leaf. Now what we're going to do, we have a tail here, so we want one on the other side too. So I'm just going to slip stitch to the other side. Just like that. Now I'm going to chain 1, pull my yarn, and cut off and leave a tail long enough to sew it onto your flower. And you're going to want to go ahead and make 3 more. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to attach to this though. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't matter really which side you do to be in the front. What you're going to do is you're going to go in between the set of petals, and we're going to, here's our first row, and here's our second row. Here's our first double crochet and our second double crochet. We're going to attach one of our tails to that, just like that. Now we're going to go over here on this side, and here's our second row, and here's 1, 2, there's our second double crochet. We're going to attach this tail right here. Just like that. And now I'm going to tie. I found this to be the best way. Oh, I hope I wasn't out of focus. I'm sorry. As I'll go up here and attach it to the bottom of the leaf. And it seems to hold better. Just like that. So there's my first leaf, and you're going to go ahead and attach your second one right here between this set, and you'll have a total of 8 leaves. And what I do, this will help when we do the border, that you don't see the leaf kind of goes down there and it's easy to skip over. So I'm just going to do this. I've got a stitch marker, and I just kind of attach that leaf so I can see it. Just like that. And go ahead and make your other 3 leaves, and I'm going to go ahead and make a part 2 so my video don't cut off. And I'd rather have it stopped here and start part 2 where we're going to do the borders. And so I'll see you in part 2 after you finish your leaves and attach them.